guys, and welcome to Bygone Traditions. This is Ginger and we're going to plant some radishes today. This is the bed that I'm going to plant the radishes in. Now I do have 2 carrot stalks that I am letting go to seed, so we're just going to plant around those. So I'm going to use my square foot gardening tool to plant these carrots. I do have to remove the netting around this so I can get them planted, and then I'm going to reattach the netting. So here we go. So today I'm going to be planting these cherry bell radishes. They're usually a cool weather crop, but they do really well, I have found, in the summer as well. I've grown them both times of the year. And I'm going to plant these champion radish, and they do well in warm weather. So we'll see how these do. I have planted them before, but I don't remember how they've done. So we're going to replant them and see how they do this year. Okay, so that's it. That's all I had to plant today. So the tomatoes and everything are looking really good. I guess I could walk you around a little bit and show you. It's been really warm, so things have been really growing. The beans are looking fabulous. They're starting to get some more leaves on them, which is great. I have peppers growing on my pepper plants. My eggplants they're doing okay. Not really growing a whole lot. I think they have maybe something wrong with them. If anybody knows, I would love some advice. Because they're just not looking great. But the beans are looking good. Peppers are doing really, really well. Definitely getting pollinated. Here's a bell pepper that's starting to grow. And my shishitos are doing really good. It looks great. I have a cayenne pepper growing right here. So that's pretty exciting. The cantaloupe are looking good. I am just learning, how to water them properly so that I'm not overwatering a little weed here, or underwatering. And that's kind of a balancing act. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything's looking. The tomatoes have really grown. They're just getting nice and big. They look so much better than they did last year. I had a lot of disease problems with them last year. This guy is still kind of small, but he started out about this tall, and now he's up here, so that's pretty great. And this is the one that, I don't know if you remember, got dug up by either my dog or my cat. So for all of that happening to it, I think it looks pretty good. And then these are my Kajari melons, and these look great. These probably look the best out of all the melons that I'm growing. And then I got this carrot. These carrots are doing really well. And just more tomatoes. My strawberries are doing good. This is a June bearing variety, and they're all starting to ripen up. This is all the berries I will get from this, and I think they look pretty good. I've never, like I said, I've never grown them in the green stalk, and I'm just loving this because I have these little snacks every day, which is great. I eat them with breakfast. They definitely do not give me enough strawberries to can, but they do give me enough to snack on throughout the week, which is great. And my herbs, my oregano is just, gosh, it's just beautiful. I keep harvesting off of this. As you can see, the tips are a little brown from where I cut it off, and then the chamomile is doing real good. This is a Brussels sprout that I took the flowers off, and I think I should have left them on because I think it would have done better. So you can see these, I don't know if you can see this. Those little purple things are where the sprouts, and they haven't gotten any bigger. They've just stayed that size. But this one, I left the flower on, and these sprouts have grown significantly. So I got little baby Brussels sprouts right here, which is kind of cool. That's exciting. I've never had Brussels sprouts do anything for me, so this is new territory. And then I've got the basil here, and sage, more basil, rosemary, and some more basil, and more basil. And then this is alyssum, this is my yarrow, and this is getting eaten by something. But I'm excited to see what it looks like in another week. Every week brings new growth and new fun things to see. My mustard looks a little burned, so I think the mustard needs to get watered every day, where I think everything else can be okay every other day. Yeah, so it's looking really good. More tomatoes, and I've got blossoms on this one. Just getting their blossoms. And then these are bushing out quite a bit. Hopefully they grow a little more. I got a tomato blossom here. It looks like a couple of fused blossoms that may need to get picked off, and then some more. You will get that, and it will give you maybe I'll let it grow and show you what it does. When you have two blossoms growing together, it does what's called Catface Tomatoes, and so it's like two tomatoes growing together, or however many blossoms are fused together, and it will give you a funky looking tomato. You can pick those off, or you can just let them grow. I tend to like to pick them off. Hi everybody, so it's a little later in the day. I did do some research on my eggplants, and I came out and looked at them, and they have flea beetles. So I want to show you what that looks like. Don't know if you can see this guy right here, but that's a flea beetle, and that's why I have all these tiny little holes on here. So I did some research on how to control these organically, and one thing I did find was that diatomaceous earth gets rid of flea beetles pretty well. So I'm going to sprinkle that all over my eggplants, and I'm going to sprinkle it on the plants around and on the dirt. Hopefully that will get rid of all of the problems, and it will not destroy my plants. Not the diatomaceous earth, but hopefully the flea beetles haven't destroyed too much of my plants, and they're salvageable. And I'll just show you real quick. I have food grade diatomaceous earth here, and I'm going to use this because I do not have a shaker to shake it on, and I want to dust it on. So we're going to see how this works. Hopefully it works better than using my hands. That gets a little clumpy, and I think this will spread it a little more evenly. Now it looks like I just put powdered sugar all over my food, or it just snowed. So what diatomaceous earth does to the flea beetle, you see the flea beetle has an exoskeleton on it. So it may not feel like it, but diatomaceous earth actually has very sharp edges, and it cuts that exoskeleton. It also causes the insects to dry out and die by absorbing the oils and fats from the cuticle of the insect's exoskeleton. And by cutting the exoskeleton, because the diatomaceous earth is so abrasive, it speeds up the process. And it will remain effective as long as the diatomaceous earth is kept dry and undisturbed. Well, and so it will do some work today. I don't need it effective very long, just enough to do its job. And I'm not going to be watering the garden again for not tomorrow, but the next day. And so it will have a full 48 hours, a little less than 48 hours to do its job. And then it isn't supposed to rain for a little while, so it'll stay on the leaves a little bit longer. Hopefully that does the trick. I'll get back to you on that, and hopefully I can give you a good report. If not, I'm going to have to look into some other options for getting rid of these flea beetles. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.